Right, this is a dummy run probably because I've just lost my mind trying to set the camera up and I can't. And there's no light in here and everything. Anyway, the intention was to do a video about the solo from Hey You off the wall. But to be honest with you, the only thing that went off the wall while I was trying to set this up was my brain cells. Right, anyway, let's have a go at it. Just check the camera's running, because that would just put the 10 out on it. Of course, those who know me know I'm not well, but sometimes it surprises me how mental I am. Right, anyway, Hey You, right, bit of a preamble about it, a bit of a whine, because, sorry, I've got a cup of tea on the go. I know all these Floyd fans go on about the solo out of Comfortably Numb, and like, to me, Comfortably Numb, it's great. It's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not knocking Comfortably Numb. I'm knocking the so-called fans of Pink Floyd, who, when you're at a concert, they just go mental because they play Comfortably Numb when they've played all these other ones. And Comfortably Numb is meant to be the biggest and best thing. It's just become this thing, and the solo and everything. And while I think the long rambling solo at the end is just nothing really. It's just Gilmour noodling basically. Not totally, but a bit of that. And everyone goes wild over it because it's a long solo. But I would say for pure emotion that it's not as good as the short solo in Comfortably Numb before he comes into the long one at the end, the one in the middle of Comfortably Numb. And it's certainly not a touch on the solo out of Hey You, which gets totally overlooked, and it sort of winds me up a little bit. But there you go, that's what I am. I mean, I'm a bit of a nuts and bolts person about this sort of thing. It's like when you go to a Deep Purple concert and they play Smoke on the Water and everyone goes mad. It's that moment, and it irritates you if you're sort of knowledgeable about that stuff. It's just a bit stupid, really. I mean, Smoke on the Water is one of the worst things that Deep Purple ever did, Anyway, not that I've been to a Deep Purple concert since the 80s, because I haven't, but you know what I mean? It's that sort of thing. I was shocked I went to see King Crimson, and they did 21st Century Schizoid Man, and the so-called educated fans of King Crimson did exactly the same. They had the Smoke on the Water moment, or the Comfortably Numb moment. They all went mental, doubly mental, because they were playing 21st Century Schizoid Man. It's that thing. I don't know. I just think it's a bit shallow. Ooh, they did 21st Century Schizoid Man. And moment, and everyone goes mad. Anyway, this is meant to be about Comfortably Numb, but I've had trouble setting my camera up, getting it in the right position, getting the lighting to work, and it's still rubbish probably. I hope you're finding this funny because it's meant to be sort of funny. I just thought I'd leave the whining on here. Another thing is it's boiling hot in here. So hot. I got so agitated that I had a jumper on and I realised I was hot. And now my fingers are all sticky and horrible. And it's like midwinter. Anyway, Hey You. It's probably going to take me about 8 videos to do. There's only a short solo. Right, it's played in this box here. And you have to sort of fill the notes in, because if you actually worked out where the notes are, there's a lot of sort of in between notes, typical Gilmour. But it's played in that sort of A minor box, even though it's in E, I presume. So like the motif from the wall actually appears in the solo. That part of the wall sort of appears in the solo. The whole motif of it's a bit James Bond, or a bit, what's that Cream song? We're Going Wrong. It's a bit like that. It always reminds me a bit of that. The motif out of the wall. Anyway, so it's played in sort of this A minor box at the start. and that's just a bend from 7 to 9. But there's a lot going on in that bend. And again, the motif appears pretty much that sort of the. It's like that little sort of 3-note motif thing. The wall. It's in a lot of it. It just crops up throughout the wall. Right, I'll just see how much video I've got left. I've got 3 minutes apparently, so I'll have to do another video to explain this if anyone wants it explained. Anyway, I've got up to there so far. That's only half the solo. Obviously the next bit, I'm not too sure about the next bit. Every time I play it differently. I look at the neck in a series of boxes where I play it. I don't know all the notes on the neck. It's handy to, but when you learn a song you don't really need to. And I play it in certain areas, and I play it differently every time and how it comes out at the time, because obviously it's a very feely thing. It's a very simple series of notes, but there's a lot. It's complicated because of the emotion that you put into it at the time. I'm not quite sure of the next bit, to be honest with you, because I don't listen to Pink Floyd anymore. It's a thing from my childhood, but I've always sort of played Hey You, and so I've got a version in my head. But there again, Gilmour would have never played it the same twice, and I certainly can't play it the same way twice. So bear with me, because I think the next bit is this. No, it's something like that. And then the end bit is this. Very simple series of notes, reasonably complicated technique, way of feeling your way through the notes. There's a lot of obviously quarter bends, half bends. There's no big, enormous bends in this one. It's quite a simple one for that. There's a lot of in-between notes. So you think you've bent from that note to there, but you're holding it in the middle on the way down. It's a very slow bend. A lot of vibrato. Probably I put a little couple of pinched harmonics in there. You don't have to. Another thing I would say, I'll probably end this video here and I'll do another one step by step thing, but don't have, if you're playing Floyd stuff, don't have the action on your neck too low. You want to be able to grab the strings. You need to be able to grab them. They need to ring so you get the sustain. You can't have a low action playing Floyd stuff. It just doesn't work. It ruins the sound. As I say, you lose your sustain, and you can't really grab the notes properly, because I mean, obviously in some of the Floyd stuff there's enormous bends. If you had to do that, you'd have to have a scalloped neck to play that sort of stuff on a you know, these 3 and 4 fret bends. You wouldn't be able to do it, I don't think. Well, I couldn't. Right, anyway, I'll do a second video and I'll do a step-by-step thing through it with less waffle, hopefully. Right, see you in the next video.